is my favorite subject and a very challenging class. And if you ever take it, you should do more than just pass. In it we learn equations, linear, quadratic.
Question number 1. Find the value of c that makes the expression x squared plus 8x plus c. So that formula is just b over 2 squared. And my b value is that, 8. So I have 8 divided by 2 squared, so that'll be 4, and then that'll be 16. So my c value is 16, and that'll be choice B. And remember, the purpose of that is so that if you wanted to, you could factor that, and so you get a perfect square trinomial. Okay? All right, let's do question number 2. Solve the by quadratic formula. So A is 1, B is 3, C is -5. Up the box. So then your B value is 3. Make sure you put it in parentheses. B value is 1, C is -5. All over 2 times 1. So you have the opposite of positive 3 is -3. 3 squared is 9. Okay, pay attention, in the inside you're going to have -4 times 1 times -5 is plus 20 over 2. And this will give you -3 plus or minus square root of 29 over 2. And that'll be choice A. Okay, I gave you 1.5 points if I felt that you stopped in your simplifying or there was a mistake in there. Okay, question number 3. 1 point if you just set them equal to each other, because they're both set equal to y. You can put that in there. So essentially you have 72 minus 3x squared equals x squared minus 28. Okay, here, some students made some basic algebra mistakes, but also, there's a 1 right there. That's why I know this was a common mistake. So that'll give you guys 4x squared minus 28. So subtract 72. This will give you 0, 4x squared minus 100. Now from here, you can do the 0x, and a lot of you guys were doing this just fine. -400. A, B, C. A times C is -400. B is 0. So -20 and positive 20. If I did this, that meant that you forgot to use the box. So 4x squared minus 100, 20x minus 20x. So that'll become 2x plus 10 minus 10. Okay, to get the 1.5, you would just need to solve it. So that'd be x equals 5. -10 and x equals -5. Okay, in the previous video, I did show you guys that you could have just solved that method called the square root method. Move the 100 over. You have 100 equals 4x squared divided by 4. You have 25 equals x squared. I took off some points here. Students here realize when you did that one, you should have a plus or minus. Whoops, plus or minus should be over here. So plus or minus 5 equals x. So that's the same as over here. Okay, so if you do the substitutions here, then you just put in the values back into the equations. So this is your x1, and this is your x2. Okay, now you're going to substitute in the 2 values for x. You could pick any equation. I think the first one or second one is the easiest. So that'll become 25 minus 28, which is -3. So one of my order pairs is 3, -3. Sorry, 5, -3, which is actually your answer, which is A. This one, same thing. Okay, pay attention. This one is also -3, but it's -5, -3, which is not on there. You got 1 point if you just set them equal to each other, and then 1 point if you solve for x, and then maybe you made a mistake like the plus or minus in the bottom left there. Okay, question number 4, use a discriminant. So I saw some students do this, which is totally fine. I just want to show you where it is. So the discriminant is what's here on the inside, b squared minus 4ac. So a is 2, b is negative 13, c is 6. So my b value is negative 13, my a value is 2, and my c value is 6. I want to point this out. I think a lot of students, I don't know why, remember this means 2 of the negative 13s, which gives you positive 169. Now, the student who keeps making this mistake since August, this is different. What's the difference between the two is that the left side over here has no parentheses, so it's negative 1 times 13 squared. Over here, it's negative 13 times negative 13 gives you positive. So if you multiply those, you'll get minus 48, and then you'll get a discriminant of 121. Remember, this is greater than 0, so the correct answer is that you have 2. If you marked, it was showing us the work, found the discriminant, you picked the wrong one, maybe it's B. It would have been 1 if it was equal to 0. Discriminant is equal to 0. Okay, number 5, which of the following of these graphs represents the solution set of y equals x squared minus 2x minus 3? Okay, so they're all graphed the same. Did you guys notice that? Negative 1s, you have positive 3, so it doesn't matter, they're all graphed. So probably the biggest one you need to know is that this one is dashed. That is dashed. That means don't include. Don't include. So to be this A or C, not B or D. Okay. The second thing you probably want to do is test it. Test it. So the point that you should test is 0, 0. So I'm putting an x 0 and a y 0. So that means 0 is greater than 0 squared minus 2 times 0 minus 3. And when you simplify that, 0 minus 3, so that's just 0 is greater than negative 3. That is going to be true. Okay, that means where 0, 0 is, it's true. So here is 0, 0. True means shade. And so your correct answer is C. Okay, so let's go on to the back side now. Number 6. What is the solution set of negative x squared plus 2x greater than or equal to 0? So you can do a couple of things right here. You could try factoring. Let me show you guys this one by factoring by your x box. And you have to use the x box. Here's the reason why. A is negative 1, B is 2, and your C value is 0. So A times C is 0, your B value is 2, then your two numbers are 0 and 2. But you have to use the box because, right there, you have to have negative x squared there. So I have 0x, 2x, and this is 0. And then you're going to have something like this. X, one of those has to be negative. So you can do like negative here. This would be plus 0. So you can do something like that. So you have negative x plus 0 and x minus 2. Okay, and then if you just set each of those equal to 0, maybe you add x to both sides. This means 0 is equal to x. And then x minus 2 equals 0, so you got x equals 2. So if you got there, I gave you 3 points. Now, some of you just did the discriminant and found 2 solutions. I only gave you 2 and nothing else is correct. There's another way of finding this, is what we learned earlier, is called the GCF. If you factor out a negative 1, you will get x squared minus 2x. And then if I factor out an x, I should have just done that in the beginning, negative 1x, you're going to have x minus 2. And then if you set each of these equal to 0, you'll get the same answer. Okay? So if you got here, then I gave you 3 points. Solve for x. Okay, let's test the regions now. So your regions are 0 and 2. The common mistake is actually to test those particular regions, and that would have been incorrect. So I'm going to pick another number to the left of 0, which is like, say, -1, and then put it back into my equation and see what happens. So that'll become a +1 minus 2. So you have -3 is bigger than 0. And is -3 bigger than 0? That would be false. Okay, let's do the in-between regions. X equals 1. So I have this. So that would be 1 squared PEMDAS, so that would be -1 plus 2 is greater than 0. And then 1 is greater than 0, this would be true. Okay, so x equals 3. So you would get, notice here I'm doing again the PEMDAS or exponents, which give me 9. And this would still give you the -3, which is false. Okay, so that means in the blue, don't shade this one, don't shade this one. We want this region right here. Let me pick a different color for you. That means this region is going to, answer is going to be between 2 and 0. You could test all those numbers and they'll be true. So my answer is going to be between 0 and 2. That means you could pick 0, 1, and 2 as your answer. We started testing the regions or try testing. I gave you 3.5. This problem doesn't include the U, but if you mixed up your brackets and parentheses, it's a bracket because you have this one. Okay, number 7, solving by completing the square. So you don't have to do anything. The C value is already on the right side. So on the left side, I'm just going to take my A and B. So my B is -10. So then I can just find it by taking B divided by 2 squared. So -10 divided by 2. So that's -5 squared. So I get C equals 25. So that's how you got the 2 points if you just had 25. Now, I'm going to now add that 25 to both sides. Both sides. Okay? Now, some of you who moved it over here and you could have -25, that would have been given full credit. So now let's just factor this. 25, -10, -5, -5. So you have x minus 5, x minus 5. And this would become 16. So it's x minus 5 squared equals 16. Okay, you're going to take the square root. Remember, you have plus or minus. Okay, after you take the square root of a number, the number out here on the right side does not have a radical sign. So you have plus or minus 4 is your correct answer. So this would be x minus 5. This one you just add 5. So you have x equals 5 plus or minus 4. I don't know why a bunch of students left it like this. So it's 5 plus 4 is 9, and 5 minus 1. 5 minus 4 is 1 is your correct answer. Okay. All right, question number 8, write an equation. So a lot of you guys just didn't know what to do here. So if you look at the picture, I have the x-intercepts. So we're going to find A, and the correct form you're going to use is the one that has the P's and the Q's. This form is because the picture has stuff on the x-intercept right there. Okay, pay attention now. There's a couple things that you should notice. This is -1, this is -2, so this is -3. So I have a P value that's -3, 4, 5. So it doesn't matter if you switch those up, but the point is that one is -3, one's -5. Now, if I do that, P is -3. Okay, now you're going to go back and you're going to solve for, and you have the minus sign. Okay, so the minus sign has to be there. Okay, now the x and the y, let's think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is -7. 1, 2, 3, 4. But pay attention, that's actually an 8. -7, 8 is my x, y. Okay, let's put that in there. So 8 and then -7. Simplify this and just solve for a. So that'll become -4. This will become -2. That'll become +8. And then a is equal to 1. Now, if you got that far, I gave you 3 points. If you wrote the correct equation or formula, then I gave you 2 points. Okay, so let's write an equation now. Whoops. Okay, so here I'm just going to be using the A, P, and Q. A value is 1. My P value is -3. So you notice how I'm writing that? Let's see if I can do it in a different color. And then your Q value is -5. X plus 3, X plus 5. Okay, so this one would give you the 4 points. Sorry. 4 points if you got the equation there in blue. How do you get the extra credit, which I shouldn't have done, but I did? Standard form is you just have to get rid of the parentheses, which is your project, right? X plus 3, X plus 5. So I have x squared, 3x, 5x, and 15. So then you would have gone x squared plus 8x plus 15 is your equation in standard form with no parentheses. That's how you got the 4.5 points. Okay? Okay. This one was hard because it was from the practice test. Okay, a rectangular pole is 20 by 10. Okay, and a concrete deck with a uniform width of X we poured, here's a key word, around the pole. Around it. The construction crew has enough deck with an area of 400 square feet. So around is this purple stuff. Okay, so my equation I got was the whole, let me show you a different color. Whole is equal to the pool, which is in white, plus the deck that's going around it. Okay, and the pool is 200. 20 times 10 is 200. The deck is 400. So that means the whole thing is 600. Okay. Okay, so what are my two equations? My equation, though, going across, this is x. This would be 10, and this would be another x. So this would be, my equation is 2x plus 10. Going this way would be x, 20, another x, so that would be, combine them together, 2x plus 20. Okay, the pool has to be less than or equals to 600. So if you got here, I gave you 1 point. If you multiply that out using the box, 4x squared plus 40x plus 20x, I'm just going pretty fast. And then if you subtracted, and put those together, you get 60x. And then subtract 600 from both sides, you get minus 400. Then if you take out a 4, greatest common factor of 4, and then if you factor it, you would have gone 20 and minus 5. So my solutions are -20 and 5, but you can only go between 0 and 5 is my answer. Okay, so 2 points if you can get that and show us all the work. We'll see you guys there. Bye.
Rudolph the statistician, simple data everywhere, mean heights and heart conditions, calculated with great care, when all of his population gathered from coast to coast, sought out the children. Then Rudolph shouted out,